It is game over for Carlee Russell, who falsely faked her own abduction on I-459 out of Hoover, Alabama. This is Sunny Justice with It's a Crime and Shame. So the story that we're about to get into is Carlee Russell out of the Hoover, Alabama area, who claimed that a toddler about 3 to 4 years old was on the side of the highway of I-459. As she reported the child missing and then got out of her vehicle, and at this point she's on the phone with a relative, and the relative hears her asking the child if the child is okay, and then next thing you know, she hears screaming, and then she just hears the traffic noise from the highway. All to come to fruition that this was a false abduction premeditated by Carlee Russell. Now, in this video, we're going to show you a news clip from News Nation about possible charges that are going to come against Carlee Russell for the false reporting of an investigation that led to drones, searches, and Carlee's family even enlisted the help of Angela Harris, a mother that had already been victimized by losing her daughter to an abduction and a homicide. Now that is Anaya Blanchard. So here Angela Harris is heading up the search in order to help Carlee's family, believing that Carlee was abducted, only to come to find out that this was all a pre-planned scam, hoax, whatever you want to deem it as. Carlee Russell deserves to have to pay and be charged for all the false allegations on the pretense of her abduction. Now let's watch a video from News Nation and talking about the possible charges that are going to be laid against Carlee Russell.
Jennifer Coffindaffer. Jennifer, I've been looking at your commentary on Twitter in regard to this story. I listened to the 911 call, the original call where she says she sees this toddler that evening. Investigators plotting, or rather seeing that she traveled the length of 6 football fields, watching this baby without actually going and picking it up and putting it in her car like most people would to keep it from running into lanes of the interstate. How much does this jeopardize true abduction cases if, in fact, everything appears to be what it is, which is a falsehood?
Well, Adrian, I'm so glad you asked that question, because that's really where the harm comes in this situation. Obviously, there's been harm done to her family, to friends, to all of those searchers who looked. But now it just casts a shadow on all these cases, even more so. Oftentimes, these missing cases aren't believed. They're thought to be runaways. And it's really just an epidemic of individuals who are missing in this country. And now we have another instance like a Sherry Papini that's been staged in a hoax. And so it's just awful news, Adrian, for the missing community.
And you think about your own family members. You know, we all have someone in our lives who's gone through mental illness, struggles with drugs, addiction. And you think, okay, perhaps she had a lapse of judgment because of something else going on the inside of her. Perhaps there was something stressing her out so much that she had to, embellish or exaggerate the details of what happened to her. For it all to add up to this, but the fact that she had that Google history, it kind of makes you throw everything out.
I totally agree. To me, from that press conference, the big takeaway was the planning. This had been going on for at least a couple of days, all of these searches that they revealed. So it was clear to me this was well planned and well thought out. I think even the fact that she went and got food at a restaurant, but then got snacks at the Target, kept the food in the car from the restaurant to look like she was taken, but took the snacks because she was hungry. It was just, planned out. I'm not even going to say well planned out, but certainly planned out.
It sounds like some tomfoolery and some foolishness, but I have to ask you, in your experience, what would police need to do to really decide this was all a hoax, this was a scam? We're still waiting for some indication that they can verify any part of her story. Do they have enough evidence now to say, indeed, we need to charge her with something?
I don't think right now, even though I think that certainly there's probably probable cause, but they're going to want to be able to, before they go to that grand jury, before they charge, have a beyond a reasonable doubt case. So what they're going to do is take that ring camera footage from where she approached her home, and they're going to work backwards, Adrian, looking at the footage. Where did she come from? Was she dropped off? And they're going to be able to put together this picture of where she was those 2 days. And I think when they finish that, we're going to see charges. We're going to see false statements. We're going to see false reporting. And they're going to add up the dollars that were used to find her, Adrian. They're going to, I've been a part of these, adding all of the federal and state and local resources. They're going to get a number on this, and I think we'll see that number.
Yeah, tens of thousands of dollars likely spent in searching for a woman who may not have ever been lost or in danger at all. Jennifer Coffindaffer, thank you so much for being with us. We'll continue to watch this case.
So the Hoover Police Department had a press conference in regards to Carlee Russell, letting her parents know that the facts were going to come out in this case. Now, Carlee had done some internet searches, even including at her work on the day of July 13th. But she also did an internet search on July 11th, asking about paying for an Amber Alert. So there was cell phone data. There was no signs that there was any mental health issues going on. As well, they didn't find any alcohol or any type of abuse to her body. And let's get into some of these internet searches that Carlee did. So Carlee's searches included: do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? How to take money from a register without being caught? The Birmingham bus station, a one-way bus ticket to Nashville, movie Taken, maximum age of an Amber Alert. Carlee's parents must be so humiliated and embarrassed knowing that the facts of this case had come out during the press conference and that Carlee falsely pretended to be abducted. Let's start off with how this started. So let's take a look at how Carlee's story all played out on July 13th. At 8:20 p.m., Carlee would leave her work from the Woodhouse Spa in Hoover, Alabama. Now, on police video footage, they could see that Carlee had stole some money, she stole a robe, she stole some toilet paper, and I believe she's going to have to use that full roll up for all the cheese shite that she has been spewing out of her mouth. And we will get into the whopper lie that Carlee Russell has told in order to concoct this pre-planned abduction. So after Carlee leaves the Woodhouse Spa, she would proceed over to the Tzatziki Colonnade, where she would purchase one dinner for her mom, for herself, whichever the story goes for that. And then she would proceed down to Target on the 280 location. Now that's just a couple minutes away. She would go into Target and purchase some cheese knits and some granola bars. Now that was at 9:21. Now at 9:19, Carlee would call her mother Talitha to let her know that, hey mom, I ordered two. They only gave me one order. Hey mom, you can have my order. And at the same time that she was texting or talking to her mom, she also tweeted out this tweet that said, all I want is family now. And then a teary face emoji to go with it. So then Carlee proceeds down I-459. She makes a phone call to 911, and she proceeds to concoct this whole story of this toddler that was 3 to 4 years old that was traveling down the I-459, and Carlee's vehicle would come into view from the newly released of course, highway footage, which would show Carlee's vehicle with hazards on already coming into view at the 11.6 mark on I-459. And she would come to a stop here at the marker 11.4. Now, in this phone call, she would tell them how this toddler that she believed was 3 to 4 years old was walking along the side of a highway and that she had been following him, and it was determined that it was 600 yards, which is the equivalent to 6 football fields. They would ask her if this child had shoes on, and she said she didn't think so, but it was really hard to see. But sadly, Carlee didn't remember that I-459 has camera footage. In fact, Carlee obviously didn't remember a lot of things. She obviously read the Dummy 101 abduction book in order to try to plan this pre-planned scam, hoax, fake abduction, whatever you want to call it. So she's talking to 911, then she hangs up with them, and then she calls her son's brother's girlfriend, which would be either her sister-in-law or just simply the girlfriend. So anyway, so instead of calling, I guess, perhaps her ex-boyfriend or anybody else, even though this is going to turn out to be an attention-seeking, selfish act on Carlee Russell's part, she's talking to the sister-in-law, and she's asking this child, because she gets out of the vehicle, to see if this child is okay. Now, the sister-in-law hears her asking the child if he's okay a couple of times, and the child is saying nothing back. Next thing you know, the sister-in-law hears screams, and then the sound of Carlee's phone dropping and just highway noise. Then, of course, the mother calls in, which is Talitha, to say that her brother's girlfriend, meaning Talitha's son's girlfriend, is still on open line with Carlee's phone, and that she can hear the highway noise. So, of course, now this leads into the police arriving with just in a few moments, about 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes of the time that Carlee placed the phone call. And when the police arrived there, the car would be still left on, the door open, but the cheese knits and the granola bars and the spa robe and the toilet paper, that would no longer be in the vehicle, but Carlee's purse, her Apple Watch, and other items would still be located in her vehicle. And then, of course, a big investigation happened where they started putting out a search in order to try to figure out what happened to Carlee Russell.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there is a pig just walking by themselves. Oh, hold on. Where am I supposed to stand? Are you? I'm right next to this exit 10 by the Tucker Egg, like you get off by the Med. Okay, so you're before the exit? Yes. Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay, and was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa. Walking southbound? How old do they look? Worth a toddler, maybe 3 or 4. Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them? Yes. Okay, are you with the child right now? No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though. Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there? Yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, what kind of car are you in? I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz. Is it a sedan or SUV? SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry. Can you put your hazards on for me? Yeah, they're on. Okay. Did you talk to the child or did you say anything to them? No. Okay. No. Do they look like they're injured? No, they don't. Are they white, like Hispanic, or Asian? They're white. Okay. Is it male or female? I think it's a boy, a little boy. Right now? Okay. So is he wearing clothes? Yes. Okay. What is he wearing?
It's a white t-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper.
And you don't see any cars anywhere?
No, no cars anywhere.
Okay. All right. What's your name?
My name is Carlee Russell.
And you don't see any injuries on the shot from where you're at, correct?
No, but I can't really see that I did.
Okay. Try to keep an eye on them for the best you can, because I don't want you to lose track of them.
Okay.
All right. And do they have shoes on?
No,
Or
not
shoes?
that I can see. I can't really see that. Look.
Okay. All right. I've got them on the way, okay? Just try to keep an eye on them, but the officers are on the way, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
So that was the 911 call placed by Carlee Russell. Now let's listen to the story, the fabricated story that she said to the police officers.
When she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. Detectives, the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded, but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence.
So let's conclude this with, why did Carlee Russell propagate this false narrative of an abduction? What could possibly be the reason that Carlee Russell has humiliated and embarrassed not only herself, but her innocent family that was so worried beyond repair and belief in the fact that they thought that their daughter was truly abducted? Why would Carlee Russell do this? Was it perhaps to get back together with her ex-boyfriend? Was it basically to give herself some social media attention so that she can get her 15 minutes of fame? Did she really think that she would get away with this, knowing of all the digital data out there? That is what is going to be Carlee Russell's demise, which we've already seen, with more to come. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave your comments in the comments section. I'd like to hear your thoughts on why do you think that Carlee Russell did this. And hopefully, again, as justice prevails, that Carlee will have to pay and have consequences for her actions. Thank you very much for watching this video. And if you guys don't mind, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and please give this video a like and a share. Thank you so much. God bless and have a good day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are at. Thank you so much.